Hey everyone, welcome! You can just feel it, right? Summer is here, and that means it's officially mango season. So today, I'm going to share one of my absolute favorite recipes for a beautiful chilled mango dessert. It is so refreshing, and the best part? You don't even have to turn on your oven. It's the perfect treat to beat the heat.
Now, before we even get into the ingredients, I want you to imagine the texture of this dessert. It's so light, so incredibly airy, and it just melts in your mouth. Honestly, the best way I can describe it is that it's like eating clouds. That's the amazing experience we're about to create together.
And there are just so many reasons to fall in love with this recipe. First off, it's a total no-bake wonder, which means your kitchen stays nice and cool. It's unbelievably light and refreshing. And get this, the entire vibrant mango flavor comes from just one single mango. The sweetness is just right, not too much, and it's genuinely easy to make. Plus, it looks so impressive, your guests are going to think you spent all day on it.
Okay, let's dive in. We're going to start with the most vibrant part, the mango curd. This is what creates that gorgeous, silky, golden layer right on top, and it packs such an intense mango punch.
Here's a little tip from my kitchen to yours. The mango you pick really matters. You want to look for a large one, and when you give it a gentle press, it should feel slightly soft. That's how you know it's ripe, super sweet, and perfect for our recipe. Remember, this one fruit is going to flavor the entire dessert, so let's make it a good one.
All right, let's walk through it. First, you're going to puree your mango until it's completely smooth. Try your best not to add any water, but if you really have to, just a tiny splash will do. Now take 1 cup of that puree and put it in a pan with some sugar, lemon juice, 2 whole eggs, and 2 extra egg yolks. Put this over very low heat. You need to whisk constantly while the sugar melts. Then, start adding cold, cubed butter, just a few pieces at a time. Using cold butter is the secret here. It helps create this incredibly smooth, creamy texture without any risk of it splitting. Whisk until each little bit of butter melts before you add the next. Once it's all in, just keep whisking for another 2 or 3 minutes as it gets thicker. And for the final touch, pour it all through a fine mesh strainer. That's what guarantees a perfectly silky smooth curd.
Now for a little chef's trick to make sure it's perfect. Dip a spatula or a spoon into the curd, pull it out, and then run your finger right across the back of it. If the line you made stays put and the curd doesn't run back together, it is done. You've got the perfect consistency. Turn off that heat right away.
Okay, now for the heart and soul of our dessert, the cream. This is where that dreamy, cloud-like texture really comes to life. You can think of it like a light, fluffy, mango-infused tiramisu filling. It's just divine.
So, for our cream base, we're going to start by mashing together some cream cheese, a little bit of sugar, a few tablespoons of that gorgeous mango curd we just made, and a splash of vanilla. That cream cheese adds this wonderful, subtle tanginess that just cuts through the sweetness and gives it a really fantastic balance.
Now for the cream itself. You've got options, so you can use whatever you have on hand. Classic liquid whipping cream gives you that rich, traditional flavor. Or you can use chantilly cream powder mixed with ice-cold milk. It's a super convenient and really stable alternative. Seriously, both of them work beautifully.
And here is another huge tip for success. When it comes to whipping cream, temperature is everything. If you want the fluffiest, most stable peaks, you have to make sure your bowl, your whisk, and the cream itself are all very, very cold. I like to pop my bowl and whisk in the freezer for about 10 minutes before I even start. All right, now for what I think is the most crucial step of this entire recipe, the fold. Once your cream is whipped up into nice stiff peaks, you're going to add it to your cream cheese mixture, but do it in batches. And please, please do not stir or use a mixer. Grab a spatula and you're going to gently fold everything together. Scrape from the bottom of the bowl and bring it up and over the top, just until it's combined. This gentle movement is the secret to keeping all that precious air we just whipped. If you stir, you'll deflate it all, but folding preserves that volume and gives us our light, cloud-like dessert.
All right, all of our delicious parts are ready to go. Now for the really fun part. Let's assemble our masterpiece. This is where it all comes together.
Hey, remember that leftover mango puree from the beginning? We're going to mix that with about a cup of milk to create our dipping liquid. This is going to soften the biscuits just enough and soak them with even more delicious mango flavor from the inside out.
So here's the basic anatomy of our dessert. It's a really simple, repeating pattern that's so easy to follow. We'll start with a base of those soaked biscuits, then add a layer of that fluffy cream, and then we'll do it all again. To finish, we'll top the whole thing off with our beautiful mango curd.
For this, a deep rectangular dish works best. Something around 33 by 22 centimeters is pretty much perfect. But hey, don't worry if yours isn't that exact size. Any similar deep dish will work just fine.
Let's build it. Grab a biscuit, dip it in the mango milk for just 3 seconds. That's it. We want it softened, not soggy. And arrange your first layer in the dish. Next, spread half of the fluffy cream mixture evenly right on top. Then, you guessed it, another layer of dipped biscuits, followed by the rest of that delicious cream. And for the final touch, gently pour that silky mango curd all over the top. Then you can use your spatula to make some beautiful decorative little waves. Have fun with it.
We are so close. There's just one last, very important step that stands between you and this amazing dessert. And for this step, a little patience goes a long way. Your masterpiece needs to chill out in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours. This lets all the layers set up properly and lets the flavors all meld together. Honestly, if you can let it sit overnight, it's even better. I know the wait is the hardest part, but trust me, it is so worth it.
Right before you're ready to serve, a super simple garnish can make it look absolutely stunning. I like to add a few cubes of fresh, sweet mango and maybe a couple of bright mint leaves. It just adds a pop of color and freshness that really takes it over the top.
And the result is exactly what we were hoping for. A dessert that's perfectly sweet, unbelievably light, and so refreshing. Every single spoonful is this perfect combination of silky curd, that cloud-like cream, and the soft mango-soaked biscuit. It melts in your mouth.
Now, this recipe is such a fantastic template. I mean, mango is the star today, for sure, but you could so easily adapt this with other fruits. Can you just imagine a version with strawberries? Or maybe a zesty lemon curd on top? So, my final question for you is, what summer fruit are you going to try in this recipe next? Enjoy it!